Alright, so I wanted to do one more thing, and that is put a solid version of this guy in here. So I have that, so I'm going to go in here to my 3D, and I made a solid version, 4 point, and it has a void inside of it. If we look at the family types parameter dialog box, basically the void is the square size minus this offset number times 2. So the offset is 2 inches, so you need 2 inches on either side for it to come in, so that's why the times 2. The main thing that happens when we bring it into Dynamo with this void in it is if that gets down to 0, past 0, it will fold in on itself and self-intersect, and it can't create the form. So we have to keep that void at least 2 times the offset, right? So it doesn't start to fold in on itself. And we'll see how that works. Notice that the angle top and the square size are both instance parameters, right? And so those guys can be controlled by Dynamo and have different different inputs. So I'm just going to click OK here. I'm going to load this into the wall component family, right? And then it wants to place it, and if you have a surface to place it on, that's great. But I already have this one placed, so I'm just going to hit escape here, and because it's already placed, I can go to the type selector and just select the new type because it has the same amount of points, and it will replace that guy in there. And so now if I come in and run this guy, I'm going to switch it from the regular one to the solid one that I just put in and run it, right? It goes through and it breaks some of these, right? Because it can't make them because they get too small. So I'm just going to cancel that. And what we can do is we can come in and get the parameter from that guy. So I'm taking the adaptive component and putting it into this definition down here, which basically gets all the parameters of that element. So I'm going to run this again, right? And it goes through, and it's kind of avoided this one, like it's not rerunning this one, but we'll get that to work in just a minute. And so it goes through and it gets all the parameters of this guy. One of them is the offset, which is down here at number 15. And then it gets that parameter, right, out of there, and then it gets the parameter value, and it converts it into feet because Dynamo's using feet, and then we take it and we scale it up by 2, which becomes a 0.33. And then if I come in and take that minimum and put it into the new min for this, right, it should come in and take all those numbers, and no matter what it is, it'll remap it with a minimum of this 0.33, right? So I'm just going to run it. Right, and so now you're seeing that sort of work, right? So the smallest one is 0, right? Now if I was to put this up at 2.5, right, and then run it, right, it'll get a little bigger. 2 is the bare minimum that you can have, or else it will break. And let's see if it works no matter what. So if we push this even further in, right, and then we rerun it, right, it still works. These will get smaller, right, and incrementally smaller till it gets to that one, but that one will always be base 0. So you can sort of work it this way, okay? If you have your own component and you're having other issues, you can let me know. But it should work just like the other one. So let's see. At some point, probably the rotation is going to break it, but it doesn't look like it. Let's see. See if it'll do a 60-degree. Yeah, it's twisting that. And then once you get that done, you can load the family into project, right, into the Revit project, and overwrite the existing version as parameter values, right. Okay. So that didn't work. It didn't like that at all. So if I come in and let's see if we can fix it. So this guy, and then if I run this, right, with the same settings, right, or we get that, and I tried to load it into project to the FOBA AC and overwrite the existing version and its parameter values. It tries to bring it in, but it's still saying that the line is too short. So there's something is it still thinks it's too small in here, even though it's doing it in the family, which is annoying. So I'll just hit cancel there, and it says, yeah, we'll resolve it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and put in 2.1, right, and rerun it, and we'll see if that does it. Yeah, so I mean, that one's almost small, but I guess in the family it just got real pissy about it being not, about it being 0, whereas in the family apparently it can handle it, but that's a little annoying. But anyway, kind of points to the issue with some discrepancies between them. But anyway, that's it. So if you have any questions, I'll post this definition for you, and I'll post this family here, right? So you can look at it too. And that's it.